Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Wisconsin.
Roof is open this afternoon. It's a beautiful Sunday here in Milwaukee, and this Brewers National Series is sponsored by Toyota. It's the final game of this series. We got an interesting matchup today. Max Scherzer on the mound, the dominant right-hander, against Taylor Youngman making his Miller Park debut, just his second start in the big leagues. And hi, everybody. Good afternoon from Miller Park alongside Bill Schroeder. I'm Brian Anderson. We'll hear from Sophia Menard in a little bit as well. Looking forward to this matchup. The Brewers have a chance to win this series. They can take 3 out of 4 from the contending Nationals, but they're going to have to go through the pitcher of the month in the National League in the month of May, and that's Max Scherzer.
This is one of the great things about the job that we have. We come to the ballpark every day, but every now and then you get to watch a guy that's one of the best in the business. Max Scherzer, the 2013 Cy Young Award winner, a 21-3 record with the Detroit Tigers. When you look at his strikeouts, he's averaged over the last 3 years 241 strikeouts. You think the guy's a hard thrower. He really isn't. He's got 5 different pitches that he's willing to throw at any time. It's going to be interesting to watch him today.
In his first year with the Nats, he signed a huge contract. He'll be facing a guy making start number 2. His Miller Park debut, Taylor Youngman. Sophia with more right after this.
Wisconsin is brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. By Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. And by Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner. Cheers, it's Miller time. Taylor Youngman is getting warmed up, ready for his Miller Park debut following a terrific debut in Pittsburgh. And the Brewers had recalled 3 pitchers, Taylor Youngman being the third, to take Willie Peralta's spot in the rotation. And he is the one who sticks and gets a shot at his second start here. Let's take a look at what Youngman was able to do on the road in his debut in Pittsburgh. A terrific 7 innings for him, just 1 run allowed, along with 3 hits, 5 strikeouts, including his first career strikeout against Andrew McCutcheon. His family was in attendance, loving every minute. And Craig Counsell loved the poise that Taylor Youngman showed. Youngman spoke with me about what went so well for him in his debut.
The biggest thing for me was being able to relax and control the nerves. Just like I said, relax and go out there and do what I do every time out and do what I do best and just throw strikes and go right at guys.
Taylor Youngman getting ready for his second start in his career. He's going up against a Cy Young Award winner, Max Scherzer, a Nationals ace. The Brewers are going for their 3rd consecutive series win. We've got first pitch coming up next for you on Fox Sports Wisconsin.
At Miller Park, ready for baseball today. The Brewers and the Washington Nationals. And Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Book your stay now. Taylor Youngman ready to pitch for the first time at Miller Park. He leads the Brewers out onto the field as we are ready for the final game of this series. And the Brewers have a chance to take 3 out of 4 from Matt Williams and the contending Washington Nationals. They won the division last year in Williams' first season with the Nats. Here's his Potawatomi batting order today, and noticeably absent is Bryce Harper. Kennard's band leads off, Danny Espinosa, then Anthony Rendon. Middle of the order is Escobar, Clint Robinson, and Ian Desmond. And then the bottom 3, Jose Lobaton, Michael A. Taylor, and Max Scherzer rounding out the starting 9. Harper was hit by a pitch yesterday and is unavailable to start today's game. All right, Rock, Taylor Youngman, he was fantastic in his Major League debut. Can he keep it going today?
Yeah, against the Pirates in Pittsburgh. I mean, outstanding work. The big key for Youngman is his ability to get his curveball over. He throws across his body, making it very difficult for right-handed batters. 3 hits in 7 innings, only 1 run. The key for Youngman was limiting the walks, only 1 walk in that start. He was a first-rounder back in 2011 for the Brewers, the 12th overall pick. 25 years old, 6'6", 222 pounds, out of Texas. And let's check out the Menards Brewers defense. A couple of changes from yesterday. Hector Gomez gets a start at third base. Aramis Ramirez sits this one out. And Maldonado behind home plate. The last time he made a start here at Miller Park, he hit a walk-off home run to win a ball game here at Miller Park against the Diamondbacks.
And there is Martin Maldonado. He will draw the Taylor Youngman assignment today. Todd Tishner will call the balls and strikes. The crew chief is Tim Welke over at first base. And the other two base umpires, Mike Everett at second base and Tim Timmons over at third. He had the plate last night. Denard Span ready to lead off. Washington winning 7-2 yesterday. The Brewers won the first two games of this series. Had a comeback win on Thursday night, a 6-5 final. They were actually down 5-1 in that game. And then Friday night, the Brewers were able to win 8-4 behind Mike Fiers. He beat Jordan Zimmerman. The Brewers chased one of the Nationals' aces in the fourth inning. So they've taken 2 out of 3. The Brewers trying to make it 3 consecutive series wins. It would be the first time this year that feat has happened. Taylor Youngman ready to go. Span at the plate. First pitch is in there for a strike, and away we go. A crossfire delivery of Taylor Youngman. We've got Jerry Augustine in our production truck today. He'll be breaking up some mechanics for us, talking us through these two pitchers. Can be a very unusual sight, Rock, as we saw with the Pirates, to face Youngman for the first time, and obviously none of these guys have ever seen him, so he should have the advantage if he's throwing strikes early.
Yep, early on, because big league hitters make adjustments early, as we talk about all the time, but a very unorthodox delivery, and one that at times is difficult for him to repeat. That's why he can be wild. He was able to manage that delivery in that start against the Pirates.
Youngman, a first-round draft pick, 2011. He was the 12th pick overall that year. He's just slowly plotted his way through the Brewers minor league system and arriving for the first time in 2015.
And that's the key pitch for Taylor Youngman, that curveball. He was able to throw that pitch for strikes when he needed to, and was able to bounce it for strike 3 in Pittsburgh. 5 strikeouts, only 1 walk against the Pirates. A good outing.
Yeah, mostly fastball and curveball in that game. He did throw a couple of changeups. He struck out Neil Walker on a changeup. So if you see that pitch, it'll be against left-handed hitters primarily. There's a fastball, fouled back. 2-2 the count on Span. He's had a good year for the Nats. A .294 hitter. He's got an on-base percentage of .335, and he has been playing this season with a bad back. He's been in and out of the lineup with back spasms that crop up occasionally. So he's not running as much as he normally does, although he did have a stolen base yesterday. That's 5 of them for the year.
That batting stance might be tough on that back. If you look at the way he sets up, that front foot, very, very unusual the way he kind of puts that back foot, the toe pointing back to Maldonado. That's his way of staying closed, keeping that front shoulder closed to cover the outside corner.
Feels like it's tough on the ligaments of the right ankle.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Well, contortionist.
Wow, the emergency swing to foul that one off. How about that? That's as late as you can swing a bat and still make contact.
And that's the thing, just try and fight off those good pitches. And we'll see how aggressive Youngman's going to be on the inside corner. A lot of these Nationals hitters stand right on top of home plate.
2-2 the count. And on the ground in the hole, that is Segura with no chance to make a throw. And Denard Span reaches on an infield hit. That's how the day begins here at Miller Park.
Just making contact, not trying to do too much with 2 strikes. Just put it in play, take your chances, hit it on the ground, and he gets a base hit.
And that'll bring up Danny Espinosa. Washington coming into play today. right there in the thick of things in the National League East. They are a half a game behind the Mets. Mets lost yesterday. Nationals winning for the first time in this series. But the Nats have scuffled a little bit lately. They've dropped 7 of 10. And they have relinquished first place in their division as Espinosa, big swing right out of the gates. Espinosa starting again at first base for Matt Williams. He's had him over there the last 2 games. He made his first ever start at first base in yesterday's game.
Yeah, looked pretty good too. A couple of tough plays.
Trying to find a way to get his bat in the lineup. Espinosa is a good hitter. He's got some power.
A couple of switch hitters in the lineup for the Nationals. You got their catcher Lobaton, a switch hitter, and Espinosa.
Espinosa has now played 5 different positions this year. He's added 3 new positions to his career record. No balls and a strike. Youngman paying close attention to Denard Span. Ball and a strike. Youngman started the season at AAA Colorado Springs. 2-3 record, an ERA over 6. Had 9 starts.
And the impressive thing with his line down in the minor leagues, he only allowed 2 home runs in those 9 starts. And we talk about a launching pad in Colorado Springs, which means he keeps the ball down pretty well. One of the big reasons for that high earned run average, walk totals. Walked a lot of batters, and a lot of times they would come in bunches. 29 walks, 54 strikeouts, and 59 in the 3rd innings. That's a lot of walks.
And Colorado Springs, the ball flies. It's a hitter friendly ballpark and pretty much a hitter friendly league, the Pacific Coast League. Espinosa fouls it back. He was late on the fastball. If you rely on a curveball as your primary off-speed pitch, pitching at altitude in Colorado Springs is actually at a higher altitude than Coors Field in Denver, where the Rockies play. If that pitch is not available, that starts the whole process of the mental side of the game when you don't feel like you have your best weapons. And I think Youngman was glad to get in the big leagues for a lot of reasons, not just to be in the major leagues, but also the baseball, the surroundings, the defense. His first start was in Pittsburgh, which had to feel like Yellowstone Park compared to his home field in Colorado Springs.
Actually able to grip the baseball. He's thinking out there, hey, that ball actually broke. They don't break too much, those big curveballs in Colorado.
There goes Span, bouncing ball to the right side. Lind is over. This is going to be a tough play. Youngman is there, safe.
That would have been a much easier play for Scooter Gennett. Well, you're taught as a first baseman, get to, go after anything you think you can get. Throw a little bit behind him. Boy, that looks like they might look at that one.
I think he might have got him. Craig Counsell, we may see a challenge here. It's a great look at it.
Boom, I think they got him.
So Counsell is going to come out, and they're going to take this to a replay challenge. That's an early challenge for Counsell. If this is not overturned, you only get 1 now.
It looks like Youngman's foot comes down, before Espinosa's foot comes down. So that's going to be overturned. Can't imagine why they would not.
That's a big play early. Especially for a guy who is just arriving to the big leagues and pitching in his home park, Miller Park, for the first time. I'm sure there are some nerves to deal with, so this could be a swing moment early, and we're just starting. They just showed the image up on the Giants scoreboard and the fans reacting to that same angle that we just showed you. So the crew chief, Tim Welke, headsets are off, and out is the call. It is overturned. A successful challenge. As long as a manager is successful with the challenges, then he continues to keep them.
Yep, those long strides for Taylor Youngman, able to get that out. It still would have been a much easier play had Lynn stayed at first base, but you know, that's what first basemen are told to do. You go after it if you think you can get to the plate.
So one away, runner at second for Anthony Rendon. Takes a strike from Youngman. 53 seconds, the official time of replay review. That'll help the averages. That's the way it should be. Make a definitive call. If it shows up that way, get in, get out, nobody gets hurt. Oh, and 2 the count on Rendon.
Youngman just threw that one at 94 miles an hour. He's going to cruise at about 91, 92. Keep the ball down when he needs to, like with a man in scoring position. Reach back and give you a little bit extra.
Now, when he pitched at the University of Texas, one of the great college pitchers there, he was consistently 96 to 98. Doesn't pitch with that kind of velocity anymore. He's got that crossfire Jared Weaver kind of look about him, and he does get a lot of ground balls. He's not your traditional sinker ball pitcher like we saw with Joe Ross yesterday. He gets his ground balls, it all tilts down, but it's primarily a cut fastball.
Right. You know, cut on the glove side and pretty straight on the inside corner to right-handed hitters.
Hey, one thing we saw out of Taylor Youngman last week was his poise, composure, the fact that he's been in big games, pitched for a big program. Almost one of those guys that excels at the major league level. I mean, we'll see how his career goes, but he was definitely comfortable in his surroundings in Pittsburgh. He was not overwhelmed by the moment.
I think what helped him a lot was the 3-up, 3-down first inning. I mean, nothing better than to have a clean first inning, your major league debut, and pitch well, give up 1 run, and seemed to be in control throughout the game.
He said he was extremely nervous throughout his time warming up in the bullpen. Once he got the first out, he settled in and treated it like any other game. He's got a runner at second here in the first. The 2-2, down and out. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Well, he beat Francisco Liriano in Pittsburgh. He draws a Cy Young Award winner today in Max Scherzer. Full count, and it's ball 4. Rendon draws the walk, 2 on with 1 away, and instead of Bryce Harper, it'll be Yunel Escobar hitting cleanup today. AT&T U-Burst Rewind in case you missed it. Final at bat for Harper last night. He took a 95-mile-an-hour fastball from Blazek, and it is a left quad injury.
And right above the knee, and you can see he was having a difficult time, could not continue, and not in there today. Brewer pitchers hit 3 Nationals yesterday. Keep an eye on that today.
Harper has been hit twice this season, just twice, which is a bit of a surprise. He stands right on top of the plate. He dives out over the plate as well. And that was a surprise that he'd only been hit twice. But on both occasions that he has been hit this year, he has missed the next game. There's a good curveball by Youngman. Get the count started against Escobar.
Which would make you think that the Nationals aren't too happy about that. Missing their MVP candidate. But you got to pitch these guys inside to a man. They stand right on top of the plate. Escobar as well.
Little jam shot. Not going to be firm enough to turn 2, and they don't get anybody. Just a poor decision there by Scooter Gennett. Had an easy out at first base. For some reason decided to go to second. Segura wasn't there, and everybody is safe.
They had a bit of a problem in yesterday's game with Michael Blazek.
I think he's out.
I think he's out too, because Rendon's foot was up above the bag, and By the time he dropped the leg, it looked to me as though Segura had his foot on the bag right there.
You're right. There's going to be 2 challenges in this inning.
Yeah, I mean, I think Craig Counsell's got to go for it. I mean, this could be a key point in the ball game. You get bases loaded, 1 out. If you get the call in your favor, it's going to be first and third.
How about this?
With 2 outs. Watch the leg of Rendon. It's going to be up in the air. He never touches the bag right here. And he's out.
Yep, he is.
You see second base umpire Mike Evan right on it. Now he thinks that Rendon puts his foot on the bag initially, but he doesn't.
You know, it's hard to slide into a base. I've talked to John Shelby about this, who handles some of the base running duties, was a terrific base runner in his day as well. It is difficult to keep your foot on the base when you slide in. And then, you know, you never thought about it until replay came about. Used to be the old adage, if the runner beat the throw there, he would be safe. If he didn't, he'd be out. And you didn't get into the fine details. But now that replay's here, you take a look at all of this. And this is going to be another quick decision here. So the calling umpire Mike Everett, Tim Welke, and out again. And the umpires are 0 for 2 today.
How about that? Top of the first. I'll tell you, the Brewers are loving replay today.
This is amazing. So Escobar will reach on a fielder's choice. And Rendon is out on a 4-6 put out. Even Counsell nodding his head at that.
That was a good play by Scooter Gennett, by the way.
That was 58 seconds. So now I take all that back, Scooter. That was a good decision on your part.
My fault.
Actually, he had a much cleaner out at first.
Yes, he did.
Brewers are very lucky there. Okay. Here's Clint Robinson.
Well, let's see if we can get Tim Timmons involved in a close call at third base.
Yep. 2 are down, 2 to go. And all kidding aside, these umpires, look, they want to get it right. They don't want to make mistakes and get calls wrong. And these are very fine line plays that we're talking about. But replay is here for that purpose, to be able to get it right, and they did it quickly. And as the umpires have said many times, they'd rather get it right on the spot than have to read about it in the newspaper about the call they missed.
Right.
2 outs, first and third for the Nationals. One pitch is down and in.
Yeah, Taylor Youngman's out there. If he was in AAA, it'd be bases loaded to run in and nobody out.
Yeah, he's loving the replay.
Yeah.
There's nothing not to like about the big leagues other than the big league hitters that you're staring down. Clint Robinson just had a major league first in this series, at his first major league homer on Thursday. He's playing first base pretty much every day now in the absence of Ryan Zimmerman, who was placed on the disabled list Thursday. Zimmerman has been playing first. Remember, the Nationals had Adam LaRoche. He's now in Chicago with the White Sox, so Zimmerman moved across the diamond. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And a bouncing ball right to Lind. And that is out, and no challenge necessary. It's a top of the first that'll be known for the challenge. Not 1, but 2. 2 challenges go the Brewers' way. Here we go to the home half. despite a walk and an infield hit. And here we go to the bottom half. The Brewers facing Max Scherzer, Craig Counsell, and Rick Kranitz trying to navigate their way to a series win. Here's Counsell's lineup today. It's brought to you by Potawatomi. Gomez back in the leadoff spot. He's got Parra, then Braun, Lynn, Segura, Jeanette in the middle with Hector Gomez starting at third. Maldonado catches Taylor Youngman. And there is the former Cy Young Award winner, Max Scherzer, the pitcher of the month for the month of May in the National League.
Yeah, his numbers in the top 10 in just about everything. Third in strikeouts. He's fifth in earned run average. Hard to get hits in bunches against this guy. Third lowest opponent batting average at 209 this year. But he's got a 6-5 record. Last 2 times out, he's been pegged with losses. So he's having a rough stretch right now.
Well, he slings it from the side. He has great velocity, but he also has a lot of pitches that he can throw for strikes. He is by no means just a power pitcher, even though he can be. He's got his cruising speed, and then he's got his put away fastball. He is one of the best in the game, and he took one of the biggest gambles on himself in the history of baseball last year, turning down a monster contract from the Detroit Tigers, and he got an even bigger contract after he had a terrific season in Detroit.
Yeah, 2013 Cy Young Award winner with the Tigers, a 21-3 record. Walk to strikeout ratio this year incredible for Scherzer. 13 walks, 97 punch outs. He has averaged 241 strikeouts his last 3 seasons.
Nationals signed him to a 7-year deal, over $200 million on that deal. As Gomez swings and misses, down he goes, and the inning starts with a K for Max Scherzer, and he'll rack up a bunch of those.
Yeah, your Menards and Nationals defense, you got a couple of changes out there. You got Jose Lobaton. He gets to start behind home plate. No Wilson Ramos today. Clint Robinson out in right field replacing Bryce Harper. 15th start of the year for Lobaton, who they say is an outstanding defensive catcher.
Lobaton, the former Tampa Bay Ray, putting the signs down for Scherzer. Hit hard by Parra, but right to Ian Desmond. Has one of the stronger arms in the game from that position. Parra is retired. 2 quick outs for Max Scherzer.
Now, if you're the Brewers and you're going to go up there, you've got to be attacking this guy early, because the deeper he gets into the count, the tougher it gets. A lot of first ball swinging today. The Brewers are used to that.
That'll bring up Ryan Braun with 2 away. 2 quick outs for Scherzer. Scherzer pumps one right down the middle for a strike. Yesterday, Braun was 0 for 4. He struck out 3 times. Not a typical Braun day at the ballpark yesterday, as he swings late, fouls that one off. It's quickly 0-2. Ryan's excited. His Miami Hurricanes are in the College World Series. They had a tough day yesterday. Got roughed up in the opening round, but he's rooting on the Canes. Former shortstop and third baseman at Miami was Ryan Braun.
And not a bad right fielder right now. Made that adjustment very quickly. 3 different positions for Ryan Braun in his big league career.
1 ball, 2 strikes to count, and Scherzer misses low.
There's some similarities between Scherzer and Youngman today. Both crossfire guys, but Scherzer certainly has the pedigree. He's got the experience behind him, a lot of success.
And Braun, a slow roll to third. This is Escobar, and he'll make the play, and Scherzer cruises through the first. 12-pitch inning for him. The Brewers go in order. Heading to the top of the second inning. Roof is open. Beautiful day here. It's Sunday. It's fun day. And nobody better to have on the air on fun day than Marcus Hanel, the Brewers bullpen catcher. Great to have you with us, Coos.
Thank you very much, Rock and BA.
How's everything so far today in the bullpen? You're off to a very quiet start. You've got a few stragglers that are already down there with you.
Yeah, usually the guys who might be pitching early will come down. Broxton and Frankie come down just a little later. But, yeah, these guys get the game in, see how the umpires work in the zone, and see how we're getting these guys out. So they do a good job of that.
Talk to us a little bit about Taylor Youngman. I know you were down there with him when he was getting his pregame routine going. You catch him before he comes out on to the field to start the game. What's he got? What did he look like today? What was his body language? Give us some thoughts on Youngman.
Yeah, he comes off very confident. You know, he's very, tall. That's the first thing you'll notice from him. But he throws across his body, so especially those right-hand hitters, it gives a pretty strange look. So his fastball comes out. It's actually, I know he throws 94, but even comes out, it seems even harder than that. It's hard to pick up. He spins a really good curveball, and I think they're, with that changeup of his, try to get some use out of that today.
You know, it's interesting. Your guys down in that bullpen have been dominating. I mean, it's got to be a good atmosphere down there right now.
Yeah, we've got good situations for these guys coming in. These guys are prepared. Brox and Frankie do a good job, along with Lee, just telling these guys what works best, using situations that they've learned throughout the season. And, man, we've been rolling pretty good right now.
Yeah, tell us about your Coos for Kids event at the zoo today after the ball game. All the players, most of the players show up. How long have you been doing that, and what does all the money go to?
Well, it's our 11th annual Coos for Kids fundraiser. It goes to terminally ill and disadvantaged kids in southeastern Wisconsin. It goes to helping kids who are terminally ill, maybe at the children's hospital, giving them laptops, maybe even a getaway for their family. We do a winter coat drive. We average over 1,000 coats each winter going to kids of need. We also have a challenger baseball and even a bowling league that takes place during the summer and winter.
Marcus, you guys do great work, you and your wife Jill, your whole family, and tickets still available for today's event?
They are. If you like to go to Milwaukee Zoo after the game, or if you're watching the game, you can walk up. There's still some tickets available. It'll be a great event. There's over 25 players and coaches who will be there to sign. So it's a great atmosphere for you to really get up close to the players and help a great cause.
Taylor Youngman here with the 2-0 count on Lobaton. There's a strike. All right, Marcus, we know you're busy down there. You're a motivational speaker now. Give us some parting words. Help us get through the day. Put a smile on our faces. What's the word of the day down there in the bullpen?
Word of the day is sunshine and warmth, man. This is something new out here in Wisconsin.
So, the roof open, right?
Yeah, this is awesome. So we get to enjoy a baseball game with the roof open, and this is great.
Show us one of your hands, Coos. 7 baseballs he can hold in that hand right there. It's like a catcher's mitt without a mitt.
That used to see him eat.
All right, Coos, thanks for being with us. Congratulations on the success of your Coos for Kids fundraiser, and we look forward to seeing you and all these players at the zoo today.
Hey, thank you. More animals coming. The guy's behind me, so that'd be perfect.
All right. Marcus Hanel, always great to catch up with him. He gives great perspective, too, because, he warms up the starter. He's always a good guy to talk to about, what kind of stuff guys have. And it is interesting to chat with Marcus Hanel. He's a bullpen catcher, but he's also, you could call him a bullpen coach. He and Lee Tunnel work hand in hand down there.
A lot of responsibilities. He throws BP to the pitchers. Sometimes he's responsible for the baseballs each and every day. And they can call him a coach for sure.
2-2 to Lobaton. And a little jam shot roller over to Hector Gomez. And Youngman with 2 up and 2 down.
Chris has been around. It's got to be over 10 years. And think about all the pitchers the Brewers have had. He's caught every one of them. He can give you an up close and personal report on each and every guy the Brewers have over the course of the years. He's been here since Miller Park opened.
At his Coos for Kids organization, which he and his wife Jill manage, was formed in '05, and they've done great work. And Rock and I have been a part of a lot of his events. He's always gracious enough to invite us and allow us to spend some time with his organization. So today they'll be at the zoo after the game. $20 per person, free for kids ages 3 and under. And if you're bumping around on the internet today watching our game, you can just log on to Coos for Kids. That's KOOS FORKIDS. Coos for Kids. Spell it all out.com. 2 outs for Youngman here in the second. He's got Michael A. Taylor, who slaps one into right field, a base hit. So a single for Taylor, the second hit for the Nationals. And that'll get the pitcher, Max Scherzer, to the plate. Scherzer can handle the bat. He had 6 hits this year. Didn't get to hit as much as he wanted to with the American League Detroit Tigers. Spent 5 years with the Tigers, but he came up with the Diamondbacks.
Hitting .222, nothing wrong with that for a pitcher.
Scherzer was traded from Arizona to Detroit, part of that 3-team deal with the Diamondbacks, the Tigers, and the Yankees that involved Curtis Granderson, among others. Austin Jackson as well. Big curveball. He buckled his knees. 0-2 the count. And down he goes. Just a little spinner bait in there. And down goes Scherzer. Couple of Ks in the inning. Coos for Kids. Thank you, Marcus. Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Marshfield Clinic. Don't just live, shine. By Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. And by Hupy and Abraham. 800-800-5678. Hupy and Abraham. Tell them you mean business. No score headed to the bottom of the second inning. Taylor Youngman's racked up a couple of Ks in his 2 scoreless innings thus far. Adam Lind will lead off against Max Scherzer. A 1-2-3 first inning. 11 pitches and had a strikeout. He struck out Gomez. Facing the hottest of the Brewer hitters in this series. Adam Lind will bat to start it. Adam is 6 for 11 in the series. And he's on a pretty good run right now. He's one of the few that have ever seen Max Scherzer in person.
It's the 4th time the Brewers have faced Scherzer. Hadn't faced the Brewers since 2009 as a member of the Diamondbacks. Much different pitcher now.
Only 4 Brewers had ever faced Scherzer, only 3 in the lineup today. Adam Lind is 1 for 8 career with a homer for his 1 hit. Has 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. Brewers haven't done a whole lot against Max Scherzer.
Not many have.
Only Ramirez and Lind with hits. Ryan Braun is 0 for 8 against him career. Parra is 0 for 4. So not a whole lot of sample size to work with, which is interesting because he's been around for a while. He came up through the National League with the Diamondbacks. As a matter of fact, Max Scherzer made his professional debut in the state of Wisconsin in lacrosse. Back in 2004, he was pitching an A ball for the D-backs. Little grounder back to the mound. Scherzer lobs it to first for the first down.
He's had winning seasons since 2009. When he went to Detroit, he's had winning seasons each and every year. 21-3 and 13, where he was the Cy Young Award winner. Last year, 18-5. He's been doing a lot of winning.
Still hard to believe the Tigers did not get out of the division series round last year with Max Scherzer, Justin Verlander, and David Price, the three aces. Not only did the Orioles beat the Tigers, they swept them, and they beat each of those guys for the 3 wins.
And you were doing those games, right?
It was, yes, I was. It was truly impressive what the Orioles were able to accomplish. And that was the last game Scherzer pitched for the Detroit Tigers, signing a multi-year deal with the Nats. There's a swing and a miss. Segura down quickly. 3 pitches and a strikeout for Scherzer, his second.
Yeah, that slider. Hey, from birthday parties to company outings and everything in between, as we take a look at the slider that Segura just waved at. Got that crossfire action. We'll hold off on the promo. I don't have to read the first sentence next time.
Just pick up where you left off.
I was so excited about reading that thing.
Well, now we have something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Here's Jeanette with 2 outs, and he swings and misses. Please carry on.
There's no better place for any of that stuff this summer than Miller Park. Start planning your Brewers group outing for as little as $9 a ticket. Go to brewers.com/groups.
What was the first line?
I don't have to say that again. I read that once. Birthday parties, the company outings, and everything in between.
Phones are ringing off the hook right now.
You think I jumped the gun a little bit?
Well,
I did.
I think you were all in.
I did.
I think you bought in. Quickly 0-2 on Jeanette. Scooter kept a hot bat going yesterday. Had 2 hits, 2 doubles, as a matter of fact. He was 2 for 4. He has 5 hits since returning from AAA, all in this series. 5 for 12, 3 doubles, 2 runs batted in. Down he goes. Max Scherzer, looking Max Scherzer like early. 6 up, 6 down, 3 strikeouts.
Potawatomi Hotel and Casino, a scoreless game here in the third at Miller Park, and Craig Counsell was impressed with Taylor Youngman's poise, his confidence, and his presence in his major league debut Tuesday in Pittsburgh, but also spoke about his delivery, the way he steps across his body, creates a deception. He said it's just a different look for the hitters, and he said as a hitter at the plate, you don't like seeing something that's different. So you saw some uncomfortable at bats, some bad swings, he said, and that's what has helped make Youngman successful. And he said Jared Weaver is someone who has maybe done that over the long term, and so that's part of Youngman's player development, is whether he'll keep that delivery for the long term or if they'll allow him to carry on with what makes him successful.
And that is a max effort delivery for Taylor Youngman. There's a lot going on there, and sometimes that's why he has a difficult time in throwing strikes. We talked about the walk totals. Sometimes they come in bunches. That's when his delivery gets a little bit out of sync. And we'll talk to Augie a little bit more about that as the game goes on. But there's a lot going on with that delivery. What makes him good is what makes him inconsistent.
He's got Denard Span leading off this third inning. First time through the batting order for Taylor Youngman. The Nats go 2 for 8 with a walk. Singles by Taylor, clean single to right, and then Span had an infield hit to start the game. 1 ball, 1 strike. That one's in there. 1-2 on the Washington lead man. 25-year-old Taylor Youngman from Central Texas. Grew up in a little town called Rogers, Texas, which is just outside Temple, Texas. Eventually ended up in Georgetown, Texas, and then the University of Texas in Austin, where he was a star at the collegiate level. He was a finalist for the Collegiate Player of the Year, the Dick Hauser Award it is called in college baseball. Big 12 Conference Pitcher of the Year in 2011, and he won the 2011 Dick Hauser Trophy. Ground ball back up the middle, a base hit. Span is 2 for 2. And a lead man on for Washington here in the third. Carsoup.com trivia this afternoon. What former Expos manager coached the Brewers to their first ever postseason appearance? The connection with the Expos and the Nationals. The Expos franchise moved to Washington, D.C. prior to the 2005 season. They are celebrating a decade in D.C. They've got a patch on their jersey. There goes Span. Maldonado's throw to second and safe.
Gets it on the bag. He's going to be out. Just got done talking about the fact that Span's not running that much. The Nationals as a team don't run much. Down to the bottom in stolen bases. And if that ball's on the money, Span's going to be out, but it wasn't. Throw sailed on Maldonado. You don't see that very often.
Span is 6 for 6 this year. He's perfect stealing bases. His back must be feeling better because he's running a lot. He's got stolen bases in the last 2 games. Went from first to third a couple of times. 31 years of age. He's got a lot of hits in him still. He led the league in hits last year, Denard Span.
It's only the 17th stolen base for the Nationals all season. Not a lot.
You figure in the ballpark they play in, which is a pitcher's park, that they'd have more. They just don't have the personnel, really.
It's all in theory. It's a good idea, you know, take the extra base, steal bases to get into scoring position. But if you don't have guys that can run, don't get good jumps, get thrown out, doesn't make any sense. As a team, if you're not around 70 to 75% your stolen base ratio, it's not worth it. Risk not worth the reward.
It's pretty much Span and Michael Taylor that do the running for Matt Williams. Taylor's got 5. Span now at 6. Harper will run every now and then. He only has 3 steals this year. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Span at second base, and Espinosa doesn't chase the high fastball. Youngman uses that high fastball. That's a weapon for him. Kind of fits in the same plane as his sweeping curveball.
But most of the time he wants to be down around the knees to get those ground balls. Heading the count 1-2, 0-2. Try to get a hitter to chase.
There's a curveball lined into right, base hit. Span got a late start. He'll hold up at third. He had to freeze just to make sure it was going to clear the second baseman. So it's first and third with nobody out. Youngman in trouble here in the 3rd inning.
Yeah, it was a curveball that he left up in the strike zone. He got ahead in the count to Espinosa 1-2. Tried to get him to chase that high fastball, then went with the curve, and Espinosa hit it hard into right. Got to get that curveball down in the zone. Leave it up. They become very hittable.
Got to bring up Anthony Rendon.
It was a curveball that Marte hit out of the ballpark in Pittsburgh. One of the few mistakes he made that night.
Yeah, the only run he allowed against the Pirates. Brewers set up to turn 2. They'll concede the run, and Rendon turns one around quickly. Foul. Rendon just getting back in the mix for the Nationals. Returned last week. He is playing in just his 10th game of the season. Had a knee injury in spring training, and then as he was coming back, he went through a minor league rehab and ended up straining an oblique, and that shut him down for another month. A big bat, run producer, very talented hitter is Rendon.
Yeah, these Nationals have been battling injuries all season. Still have a bunch of guys on the DL.
Jason Worth, Ryan Zimmerman on the position player side, the 2 key pieces. They've got Doug Fister on the DL, one of their starters. He's supposed to come back shortly, probably this coming week, through his last minor league rehab appearance on Friday. Steven Strasburg is on the disabled list as well. He's got a trap injury, the left trapezius, right behind the shoulder. He threw here on Friday. He threw a simulated game off the mound, but he's going to be a little bit yet. 2 balls and a strike on Rendon. Now 3-1.
Passo's not chasing. That pitch didn't miss by a whole lot. Pitch before didn't miss by much. He's been close to the strike zone, but Masters are not expanding that zone.
And Rendon into right. It's going to back up Braun. Span will tag. Braun makes the catch. The throw comes into second base, and Span will score the run. A sac fly and an RBI for Anthony Rendon, and it is the Nationals who strike first today.
And you figure the margins are not going to be real great for Taylor Youngman with Scherzer on the mound. He knows it. He knows that runs are going to be very difficult to come by with Scherzer out there. Got to minimize damage, keep the big inning at bay today. Was able to do that in the first.
Here's Yunel Escobar. Youngman would love to get a ground ball here, turn this up, get out of the inning. Keeping the runners close. Escobar has been hitting third in this series. Harper has been hitting cleanup. Without Harper today, Escobar in that fourth spot. Escobar checks in today, 7th in the league in hitting at .319. Strike. Fastball in there.
They don't like it in there. I mean, Escobar, another guy that stands right on top of home plate, but that's where you have to pitch him. Seems like every one of these guys right on top of home plate, daring you to come inside. You can tell how close a hitter is to home plate when you look at where the back foot is. Front foot's going to move. The back foot usually doesn't.
Escobar bounces one foul.
In other words, you have a guy with the back foot, close to the line. He has that open stance. So that front foot's going to be toward third base, opened up. And as the ball comes to home plate, it's going to close up. So you watch the back foot to determine, how close they are to the plate, not the front foot.
Right in the middle of the batter's box as well. And if you're a catcher, Rock, and you see a guy come up with this stance and this position in the batter's box, what's that tell you about the hitter?
He likes the ball in. I mean, you look at Ryan Braun. I mean, he stands off the plate, he likes the ball away.
So he's looking to pull something.
He's looking for something in.
Got something in there. It brushes him back.
And that's why these Nationals, I mean, they got hit 3 times yesterday, and some brushbacks. They don't like it. They kind of act like, what are you doing coming in there? You can see the approach. I mean, he's right on top of the plate and he's diving. He gets out of the way by the time the ball's in the catcher's glove.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Got a man out. Runner at first. And Youngman, another throw to first. A lot of times those throws to first are on orders from the Brewers bench.
You see Maldonado and Lucroy looking into the bench a lot. They're not looking for pitches, what to call. They're looking for, pitch outs, throw over, hold the baseball.
And he popped him up right behind the plate. Easy for Maldonado. Good pitch by Youngman. He buckled his knees, throwing that sweeping curveball, and Escobar trying to foul it off. A foul pop. 2 outs.
No, he left it up and he got away with a bad pitch. Escobar opened up the front shoulder a little bit too soon, and because of that got underneath. But that was a hanging curveball.
It's a great example of how one pitch sets up the next. Youngman goes up and in, brushes him back. It's got him thinking about that inside pitch, and then a curveball does the trick. Runner goes, pitches a strike, throw to second, and out at second. Maldonado guns a man down, and Espinosa looks like he's shaken up. He hit that bag hard. Espinosa still down, and we'll see if he's going to be able to continue on here. Maldonado cuts him down at second base. The inning ends with a caught stealing. And watch that lead foot right into the bag.
I'm not sure if Matt Williams has cleared the umpires to say we're not going to review. I don't think they're gonna. They're still looking in there. Brewers have not completely left the field yet.
Matt Williams, you have 30 seconds to make a decision. And Matt Williams is awaiting word from his replay personnel in his clubhouse. And it's getting to the point where the umpires can actually say that's enough. Supposed to have 30 seconds. He says no. And we can go to commercial break. We're headed to the bottom of the third. The Nats have the lead. Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner. Cheers, it's Miller time. And by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. Beautiful blue sky up above. What a day for baseball today. The Brewers and the Nationals. Got a great crowd. Carlos Gomez bobblehead day. Hector Gomez will lead off. Max Scherzer has been dominant to start this game. Scherzer has retired the first 6. He has 3 strikeouts. Brewers with a lot of swings and misses early in this one. And now Gomez fouls it away. He's late. That's just got a run in the top of this inning. Sac fly, RBI by Span. Inning could have turned out a lot worse for Taylor Youngman. He had 2 on and nobody out. But a sac fly, a pop-up, and a caught stealing ended the frame. And a wave and a miss and another strikeout for Scherzer. That is number 4.
That slider at 85 has pretty much been fastball slider so far from Max Scherzer. Now, as the game goes on, he might mix it up a little bit, but until the Brewers show they're gonna make adjustments and either lay off of that pitch or hit it, he's just gonna keep doing what he's doing. It's not broke, don't fix it, right? Scherzer's a perfect example of a guy that is only going to throw strikes if he needs to. If he feels as though you're going to force him to throw strikes. Your best pitch to hit, normally your first one. Your first strike.
Scherzer throws a high fastball. Maldonado chases it. Now, Maldonado was playing every day in the absence of Jonathan Lucroy. Has not played much since, but he has got a couple of big memories here at Miller Park. The last time he played, last time he started on this field, is in our Columbia St. Mary's Worth Another Look. That was a home run in the 17th inning. Maldonado's second walk-off of the season. Sunday is Maldonado Day this year, at least at Miller Park. He's got 2 walk-offs. Had one on Mother's Day and then that 17-inning blast. He is the first player in the history of the game to catch 17 innings and then hit a home run as a walk-off home run. That feat has never happened before. So that's pretty cool. He's got that going for him.
Yeah, and that's nice.
I mean, there aren't many 17-inning games in the history of the major leagues.
Right. He's in the record books.
That's right. He's done something nobody's done in the history of the game. 2-2 pitch. Steer Reich on the corner. Scherzer just carving him up. And back-to-back Ks. He's got 4 in a row now going back to last inning.
Yep, fastball that Maldonado had a good swing at. A slider out of the strike zone and then able to catch the outside corner. Look at Lobato and the way he holds that baseball. He's one of the better framers in all of baseball. I mean, he really does steal a lot of strikes. That one looked good, but he made it look even better.
Here's Taylor Youngman.
Very solid behind home plate is Lobato.
Youngman can swing the bat, folks. He's got some skills at the plate. And most pitchers would kind of back down with a matchup with Max Scherzer. I think Youngman was excited about it. He's got nothing to lose here. He said, I want to face the best. He's going to get him back up the middle, hits the rubber right over the bag. Desmond makes the play. 1-2-3 inning for Max Scherzer. 9 up, 9 down. First time through the batting order. And 1-0 Washington as we head to the 4th inning. Youngman, we're looking at his mechanics today. Jerry Augustine is down in our production truck. We call it the workshop. He's got some tools down there to work with. What are you seeing so far from Taylor Youngman, Jerry?
Well, I'll tell you what, there's a lot of similarities between Taylor Youngman and Max Scherzer when you watch him from the delivery standpoint. But the big thing with Taylor Youngman is his delivery and his stride, where he steps more towards the third base side. We'll see here in delivery. He comes up, and that shoulder turn he gets at the top here. That shoulder turn he gets up in that turn, he just goes directly, he follows his direction, and it comes down towards the third base side. And then when he hits, he is really throwing across his body. But because he doesn't stride out far, he gets over the top really well and is able to command his fastball and get that hand through. That's where he gets all the action on the ball when he throws it to the plate.
And the interesting thing, Augie, is the way he drags that back foot. I mean, that is about a 45-degree angle toward, between home plate and third base. That's what you mean when you're talking about a crossfire guy.
Yeah, definitely. When he's throwing across your body and the dragging of the foot, it's just he knows that when he drags that foot, that he's in sync where he has to be. 3 things. He turns the front shoulder, he steps across his body, but then he short strides and gets over the top.
Youngman facing Clint Robinson to start it, and even with the shift on, Robinson barrels one through for a base hit. So it is another leadoff base runner for the Nats. That is the 3rd in 4 innings now against Taylor Youngman. Clint Robinson with a single. It's got to be so unnerving, Augie, for a right-handed batter facing Youngman. He looks like he's going to throw it into the third base dugout. It's so extreme pointing that way.
It's deceptive. When you're a pitcher, you want to use deception and hide the ball the best you can. And when Taylor does that, he does hide the ball. You don't pick it up until the last minute, and that makes it really effective. Not only that he throws the ball with more velocity or can locate it, but that deception of where he lands towards third base and then comes over the top because of a short stride and is able to accelerate his hand through.
You saw a shot right there of the 2 landing positions of Scherzer and Youngman. Very similar. Scherzer is a lot more animated. I mean, that right here, here's Youngman and here's Scherzer. Both of them, kind of step toward third base before they throw the baseball.
Yeah, you hit it right on the head, Rock. And a little bit more with Scherzer, he's more directly at the plate. He doesn't have that hip turn or that shoulder turn that you see out of Taylor Youngman.
You can tell Youngman just is very flexible and athletic the way he goes about it. And I would venture to say, Augie, correct me if I'm wrong, but Max Scherzer very rarely has somebody land outside of where his landing spot is.
I agree, and because he comes up and he just doesn't have the quite turn, but he throws across his body and gets over the top. And they can do that because they have that short stride. When you short stride, it allows that upper half to get over when you see him throw the ball. And then when you can get over the top, you can really accelerate your arm. And Max Scherzer, when you see him release the ball is all released in the same spot every time. That makes him definitely much harder to face and harder to hit because he throws all pitches from that same slot.
Always fun to hear from Augie, our pitching mechanics guru, breaking down the young Taylor Youngman as he misses with a curveball. Maldonado does not get down to block it, and that's going to allow Robinson to go to second base. Maldonado is usually very good keeping the ball in front. He was a little late that time. That'll be a wild pitch, but certainly one that Maldonado would tell you he should have.
Yeah, especially those breaking balls that go in the dirt. I mean, you expect them to be in the dirt when you call them. And ordinarily, he's going to be able to keep that one close enough to keep a base runner, certainly like Robinson at first base.
Ian Desmond, who struck out his last time up. He has been on a strikeout binge here lately. All right, we laid the 2 images on top of each other, Scherzer and Youngman. Oh, that's great. Look at that, Augie, how the 6'6" Youngman actually gets lower at release than Scherzer.
And it's very, when you look at this right here, look where they stride. Their stride is short. It allows their upper body to get over that front side and really explode to the plate.
There's a called strike 3, and Desmond's woes continue. He has struck out twice in this game. And the first out of the inning with a runner at second base. Ian Desmond is in one of those really bad places right now. He has punched out 9 times in this series.
Yeah, but he's a good hitter, and he's going to snap out of it at some point. You just hope that the Nationals are out of town and facing somebody else before he does.
Here's Jose Lobaton now, switch hitting catcher. There's that sweeping curveball by Taylor Youngman. Jerry, you mentioned that Youngman moved over to the extreme third base side of the rubber. That's not where he was even as of a couple of years ago in the Brewers minor league system. He had pitched kind of in the middle, and then he went to the first base side. So what are the advantages as he throws one away here, and Robinson ends up at third base on another wild pitch? So what are the advantages of throwing from the third base side of the rubber?
Well, what it does for Taylor, it actually, you're talking about angles, and when you talk about angles and you talk about deception, you talk about hiding the ball. When he moves way to the right side of the rubber, what he does, he shows the backside of his shoulder to the hitter, and when he goes to the plate, because of that short stride and getting over the top, it hides the ball. They don't pick up the ball as sooner. If he was way over to the left side, they could pick up the ball much sooner and be easier for the hitter to just maybe find out what pitch is, decide what pitch it is. When he's way over to the right side, you can't pick it up because he turns the shoulder, he goes steps towards the third base side, and then he hides the ball real well, and all of a sudden that ball explodes on you.
Does it give you a better angle for the curveball, Augie?
It does, and it does well by him because, number one, he short strides and really gets over the top, allows that hand and wrist to go through real quick.
Lobaton muscles one through a base hit. He got jammed, but he was able to find a hole. Brewers had their infield a touch in right there with one away, and Lobaton has an RBI. It's 2-0 Washington.
Yeah, you can't fall too far behind with Scherzer on the mound for sure, but you know, they had the play on with Robinson at third base, make it go through, and you know, with the infield drawn in, not only does the run score, but Lobaton able to get a base hit. If Segura's back, a run's going to score, but you're going to get an out. But Craig Counsell was kind of forced to bring the infield in there because of who they're facing today. And you figure you're not going to be able to get too many runs. You got to cut down as many as you can, or at least try.
Now those 2 wild pitches costly for Youngman. So an earned run is in. 2 hits in the inning. Lobaton at first for Michael Taylor. A lot of pitches here for Taylor Youngman. 74 pitches. He's got 1 out in the 4th. The Nationals, unlike the Pirates, are being very patient at the plate with Youngman. Taylor swings at a first pitch curveball.
Yeah, his first outing against Pittsburgh, 92 pitches, and he was able to complete 7 innings. Very efficient.
Another curve and another swing and a miss. That one skipped in. Maldonado blocked it. 0-2 the count on Michael Taylor. He's another guy that has a lot of strikeouts, and a lot of his strikeouts on breaking balls. Nationals love this kid. He's only 24. They feel like he's going to just get better and better. He's going to start to learn a strike zone, and he is going to be a force in the big leagues. Another curve. He pops this one up. Foul territory. Maldonado right there for out number 2. That's a big out. Now the pitcher Scherzer is coming up. Youngman has a way out of this inning.
The pitcher, 31, Max Scherzer.
Youngman threw Max Scherzer 3 curveballs his last time up and struck him out. There's a strike. Back to the fastball. 2-0 Nats. They got a run in the third on an RBI from Rendon, a sac fly. And Lobaton just drove in run number 2, a base hit with the drawn in infield. 2 outs. The 1-1. Scherzer's late. Ball and 2 strikes. The Brewers will have the top of the order coming up. Scherzer went through the order 1, 2, 3. Hits that one right on the barrel and a base hit. One too many fastballs, I suppose. Scherzer squared that one up.
Can't take anything for granted. I mean, you just can't expect to get out just thinking, I got this guy, just blew one right by him and throw another one. Scherzer able to turn it around. He handles himself pretty well at the plate. And now you got the top of the order to mess with.
Scherzer has 7 hits this year. So now it's 2 on with 2 away, and Denard Span, who has not been retired yet. He's 2 for 2. Starts him with a curveball. That third pitch is what every starting pitcher needs, unless you have the overpowering fastball and a slider or a fastball and a curve. It's usually that third pitch that keeps you around and keeps you in a rotation spot. Youngman has a changeup, but it is definitely his third pitch.
And a lot of times that's how organizations determine who's going to be a starter and who is not.
Maldonado fires behind the runner. That's into center field. And both runners are going to advance. Maldonado trying to do too much there and commits the error. Second and third now.
That's just not a very good throw by Martin that time. That was a called play. Segura sneaking in behind, and that's not even close. No chance for Segura to keep that one close.
Well, Maldonado is a very good defensive catcher, but he's taken a lot of risks this year. He has 6 errors already. That's too many for a catcher. 1 ball, 1 strike. Second and third now. Key hitter for Youngman. And a fastball misses. Span able to check his swing.
They're trying to get his pitcher out of a jam, and sometimes that's what happens when you, like you said, trying to do too much, make something out of nothing. You're trying to get your pitcher off the hook, and sometimes when you do that, you make matters worse.
Three balls and a strike. Lost him. So the inning continues here for Youngman. Bases loaded now for Danny Espinosa. 3 hits in the inning, now a walk. A run is in. And with Max Scherzer on the mound, can't afford to give up any more.
Yeah, the Nationals had at least 1 man in scoring position every inning except the second. Up to this point, Youngman's been able to get himself out of trouble and avoid the big inning, and he's in jeopardy of giving up a crooked number here in this inning.
Big spot for Youngman. 7th batter of the inning, Espinosa, and he takes a strike. Got a call there from home plate umpire Todd Tishner. Espinosa singled his last time up, He slid hard into second base. He was caught stealing in the third inning and looked like he roughed up his ankle. Strike two. That one on the bottom corner, outside corner, and it's 0-2 on Espinosa.
Try the high fastball out of the strike zone, or that curveball in the dirt. You don't need to throw a strike here.
Big pitch coming for Taylor Youngman, even though we're early. And there is the curveball. Maldonado smothers it. 1-2 the count. Very few opportunities with bases loaded this year. Espinosa has been kind of a role player this season. Played so many different positions, 5 of them. Starting at first today. Bases full of Nats. The 1-2 pitch is in the dirt. Great block back there by Maldonado that time.
You got to be able to do that. You have to. Your pitcher has to know he can bounce that curveball with 2 strikes. Perfect execution by Martin that time.
That one skipped well in front of the plate. Two balls, 2 strikes. See what he has in mind here. Now it's full. And all 3 base runners will start with the pitch. Full count, 2 outs. Taylor Youngman trying to pitch through the storm of this 4th inning. Crowd trying to help him out. There they go. 3-2 pitch is fouled back. He was right on it.
Had a good one to hit.
They do it again. Another 3-2. Runners take off and a swing and a miss. He struck him out. Taylor Youngman walking the tightrope in the 4th. Gives up a run, but strands it loaded. Top of the order coming up. Miller Park on a Sunday afternoon. The roof is open. Temperature in the upper 70s. Max Scherzer is locked and loaded right now. He has retired the first 9 he has faced with 5 strikeouts thus far. He's thrown just 34 pitches as well. Jerry Augustine is in our production truck, and he's taking a look at these two pitchers today. And Max Scherzer, he's a joy to watch. This guy, he is one of the best in the game for a reason.
Yeah, there's no one thing about Max Scherzer when you talk about him, it's all about consistency. His delivery, when you look at it on the screen here, is a model of consistency. What he does, he goes up. He's kind of an old style where he takes his hands above his head, but then he comes up and he gets right there. That's his signal that he knows that he's going to start going to plate, separate the hands, and drive to the plate. But the one thing he does very well is when he plants that foot, he doesn't overstride. He strides out short, which allows him to get over the top and be consistent with his release point. Every pitch you see out of his hand looks like it's the same pitch. And when you can do that and have the quality pitches that Max Scherzer has, he's very tough to hit.
And he can give you 96 like he just did. You know, the big difference, and one of the major differences between these two guys, you see Taylor Youngman has that exaggerated foot drag with his back foot. Scherzer does not. He kind of, taps the toe after he gets rid of it and then lifts his back leg up. I mean, what's the difference there, and how do each of those things how do those guys take advantage of those two?
Well, I think in Max Scherzer's point of view, it's really works well for him because anytime you can raise that back foot, get it off the ground, that means you're getting over that front leg where you can really exaggerate and get that maximum velocity on the ball, have that same release. And with Youngman, the difference is by dragging that, sometimes it will alter his delivery again a little bit. Rock, you talked earlier where at times he has problems locating. That could be the determining factor why he doesn't locate a consistent basis, because he drags that foot and that alters his delivery just a little bit.
Terry Augustine, outstanding left-handed pitcher in his time with the Brewers, breaking it down for us. Gerardo Parra pops this one up right up the pipe, and Rendon is there for the out. 2 quick outs. The Toyota kid barking him out today. That's a good job. Do a little public address announcing, giving Rob Edwards a run for his money.
A little enthusiasm there, wasn't there?
Yeah, very nice. Well, he announces Braun, and the Brewers are trying to get a base runner. Scherzer has retired 11 straight. And Braun takes one off the plate. Ryan grounded out his first time up. Scherzer has 2 outs in this inning. He's thrown 5 pitches.
He knows when he needs to get that little extra. And 95 to Braun on that 1-0 pitch. He threw one to Gomez on the first pitch in 96. So he knows when somebody's going to be attacking early, he'll give him a little bit extra.
2-0 Nationals. Nats have 7 hits already. And Braun, a swing and a miss right by him. 1-2 the count. Scherzer deals it, and Braun takes ball 2. Chris Sale is on the mound today for the White Sox. You got a couple of big strikeout pitchers. Sale already has double-digit strikeout totals today.
Another crossfire pitcher that the Brewers have faced.
And Braun is out. A strikeout for Scherzer. That is number 6. He is dominating early. 4 no-hit innings. Tired 12 in a row. He looks tough today. He's got 6 strikeouts. Taylor Youngman back on the mound to start his 5th inning. He has allowed 2 runs. The Nationals have had a ton of base runners in this game, but Youngman able to strand the bases loaded last inning. Nats have 7 hits thus far. A couple of walks for Youngman. He struck out 4, and that 4th strikeout was a big one on Espinosa with the bases full. Here's Anthony Rendon to start it. First pitch, a strike from Youngman. Rendon, Escobar, and Robinson, 3, 4, and 5 in the Washington batting order. If you're just joining us, no Bryce Harper today. He is available to hit, but not in the starting lineup. He was hit by a pitch yesterday, has a sore left quad right above the knee, right where Michael Blazek hit him yesterday. Harper and Scherzer both won the pitcher and player of the month honors respectively in the National League for the month of May. It's a rare occurrence when 2 players from the same team win that award. Nats had a great run through the end of April and early May. They won 16 out of 20 games at one point after a slow start to the season. They've been a streaky team this year. They have dealt with a number of injuries. On the ground to short, stays down for Segura and just got him.
Hey, tomorrow night the Brewers welcome the reigning American League champions to Miller Park as they host the Kansas City Royals in a 2-game interleague showdown tomorrow and Tuesday. Tickets start at just $9. Go to Brewers.com to reserve your spot today.
Kansas City is in St. Louis today. They are delayed by rain. Chris Young and John Lackey in that one. Cardinals just keep on winning. They beat the Royals last night 3-2. And there's another hit batter. Escobar is hit. Youngman puts a man on with 1 out.
You can hear Escobar with the groan before the ball even hit him. He knew it was coming. That's 4 hit batters in 2 games by the Brewers. That one gets him right on the hip.
Escobar hit for the 3rd time this year. Well, that's 4 as you mentioned, and you got to figure at some point Max Scherzer is going to stick one in somebody's back. That's what I'd be thinking if I was a Brewer hitter right now. I mean, as long as he's going along like he is, he's not going to do it.
Yeah, I mean,
he's got a perfect game going.
I was going to say, yeah, that would be a heck of a way to lose a perfect game, right?
He wouldn't do that. But if that changes, it's not that these pitches are on purpose. It just, that's kind of the way things go. Youngman knows he's got to pitch inside to set up that curveball. Clint Robinson had a base hit his last time up. He singled through the shift. Brewers put 3 infielders on the right side. Even with a runner at first base, they do it. Two and 0 the count. On the ground, Jeanette is there. He's going to second. Out there. Gomez throw to first is not in time, and Lind did all he could. He got a little snow cone there to keep it out of the dugout.
That's about as long a throw as you're going to see from a second baseman to get a force. He was shading toward the line, with the big left-hander up there, and kind of surprised he went to second base actually, but Adam Lind really didn't make much of an effort to get quickly to first base. I think he knew right away that Jeanette was going to get the lead runner at second. But that was an awfully long throw. He made a good one.
That was a 4-5 put out with the shift on. The Brewers slide their third baseman Gomez into that spot. Gomez is a natural shortstop, so he's more than comfortable there. Ian Desmond takes a strike.
And anytime Gomez is able to show off his throwing arm, he's going to do it.
Strike two. And when you're in the kind of slump, the strikeout slump that Ian Desmond is in, you're in an eternal 0-2 count, it feels like. It's like that game you used to play in inter squad when you go up there with an 0-2 count.
Yeah, a lot of us felt that way every time up.
Amen. Here's the 0-2 and a swing and a miss. Man, Ian Desmond, he is in a bad place right now. Third K of the game. Youngman strands a runner. Bigger spotlight here. He's got 4 perfect innings. Our T-Mobile game changer. His pitching line today, 6 Ks. Has not walked a batter, and the pitch count is the big story. He's only thrown 43 pitches, Rock. This is a guy who has not completed games very often in his career. As good as he has been, he has just 1 career complete game, and that came last year against the Chicago White Sox.
Yeah, that's kind of a surprise. You would think that wouldn't be the case, but Scherzer seems to be a guy that's effective with his pitches. But all the strikeouts that he gets, I mean, just because of that, his pitch count is going to be high, averaging over 240 strikeouts over the last 3 years.
He has 6 punch outs today. Had a 9-pitch inning in the 4th. Adam Lind will start it for the Brewers. They're down 2-0. That complete game by Scherzer was almost a year to the date. It was June 12th of 2014. That was as a member of the Tigers against the White Sox. And it was a 3-hit shutout that day.
And he does throw a lot of pitches just about every time out. Over 100 pitches in 8 of 12 starts this year, including his last 4. Actually, his last 5. Last time out against the Yankees, 116 pitches. But still was not able to get out of the 7th inning. 6 2/3.
He has been extremely economical so far today. Has not thrown more than 12 pitches in an inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and Lynn takes a called strike 3. Scherzer rings the bell. 7 punch outs now. 13 straight retired by Max Scherzer.
And really no ball hit very hard against Scherzer amongst those that have actually put it in play so far. I think the hardest hit ball was from Taylor Youngman, that ground ball up the middle.
As a strike to Segura. He was a strikeout victim in the second inning. Oh, and 2 the count. Scherzer has thrown 49 pitches. He has thrown just 11 out of the strike zone. And Segura strikes out on 3 straight. Back-to-back Ks for Scherzer. 3 in a row going back to last inning. He has 8 already. Carsoup.com trivia question. What former Expos manager coached the Brewers to their first ever postseason appearance? That would be Buck Rogers. 1981. Lost to the Yankees in the ALDS.
Yeah, but then got fired, in May of 1982, or I think it was May. Harvey Keene took over, and Brewers ended up in the World Series.
Gives you an idea of the expectation level for those teams in the late 70s and early 80s.
Yeah.
There were World Series expectations every year, and after a slow start in '82, Buck Rogers was out.
I guess fired is a strong word. I mean, they use relieved of his duties these days.
Right. Yep. That's a much kinder, gentler way to put it.
Back in the old days, I got fired.
Yeah, you never heard George Steinbrenner say he relieved Billy Martin of his duties. 2 out, Scooter Gennett. Little jam shot pop-up. Desmond is back. Taylor's in. And Max Scherzer has 5 perfect innings at Miller Park. 2-0 Nationals.
Presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. The Nationals a 2-0 lead here in the 6th. Corey Knebel getting ready to take over, and you can join Brewers pitcher Matt Garza and his teammates for the Brewers Bowl-a-thon on Sunday, July 19th. You can enjoy a VIP reception, silent auction, and of course bowling with the Brewers players while raising money for the Sojourner Family Peace Center, a safe haven for abused women and children. For more information, please visit brewers.com/beyondthediamond, or you can call 414-902-4532.
All right, Sophia, thank you. We head to the 6th inning, and it'll be Corey Knebel out of the Brewers bullpen. How about that? 2 guys from the same high school and the same university pitching back-to-back in the same game. Taylor Youngman and Corey Knebel. Go figure, Ron.
Yeah. Just when you think you've seen everything in this game.
Meanwhile, Max Scherzer has a perfect game going as well. Oh, that's the other news.
Yeah, Knebel last pitched on Friday against these Nationals, gave up a run in an inning of work. He's been throwing the baseball well, showing a good curveball, has 14 strikeouts in 11 2/3 innings.
Jose Lobaton leads off. A little half swing and a strike. Knebel, like Youngman, from Georgetown High School in Texas, and then went on to the University of Texas. Pitched for the Longhorns. He and Youngman are very close. There's a fly ball left field. Parra eases over. There's the first out.
Hey, today's time of the game winner, Brokers in Rhinelander, Wisconsin. If they call the Brewers in the next 24 hours, Brokers gets 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets to a 2015 Brewers home game. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
I think the Miller Lite deck has our name written all over it for a broadcast at some point. We haven't been in the stands for a while, but that one is has a magnetizing effect.
Yeah. So does that beer can out there.
It's perspiring.
I think I've got one of those in my near future. It's going to end up being a decent night after the game, today, and hang out outside.
Michael Taylor with one out here in the sixth and a swing and a miss. High fastball from Knebel. Brewers acquired Knebel in the Giovanni Gallardo deal. He came from the Rangers. Breaking ball on the ground to Hector Gomez. Zips one across the diamond for out number 2. Well, speaking of playing the percentages, we got the perfect game on one end. 2 guys from the same school here. Those are rare feats. That reminds me of our good buddy Bingo Betty Carlson. She is celebrating her 88th birthday today. She lives in Eagle River. She's a huge Brewers fan. Bingo Betty.
Yeah.
She's earned that nickname.
Mother of a good friend of mine down here in Milwaukee.
You know Bingo Betty?
I don't know Bingo Betty. I know Jim, her son.
Oh.
I bet Bingo Betty's a big fisherman. You know, muskies up there in Eagle River.
Oh, and to the count on Scherzer.
I know Jim is. Happy birthday, Betty.
Our friends call her Bingo. 0-2 pitch. Knebel makes quick work of Scherzer. 1-2-3 inning for Corey Knebel. Scherzer back on the mound. We head to the bottom of the 6th. And Max Scherzer, he is shining bright here today at Miller Park. Our Jimmy John's delivery of the game. Scherzer through the first 5 innings has 8 strikeouts, and you would think he would have a high pitch count because of those 8 strikeouts, but Rock, 53 pitches through the first 5 innings.
Yeah, the Brewers just not able to lay off those sliders that are out of the strike zone. They keep chasing them. He's been able to mix it up very well. You got Adam Lind on one of the few changeups that he's thrown today, and 8 of the 15 outs are punch outs for Scherzer. 53 pitches, only 12 balls.
Those are the numbers. Brewers are trying to get something going here. Washington has 7 hits. Scherzer has one of those. They've scored 2 runs. Taylor Youngman started, went 5. Knebel just worked a 3-up, 3-down 6th. Here's Hector Gomez. He was one of the 8 strikeout victims his last time up. Punched out in the 3rd. Gomez takes a strike. Scherzer's been dialed in on that outside corner today.
Even when he's behind in the count, which he has not been all that often. You know, 1-0. Well, he hasn't gotten in trouble of walking into. I don't even think he's had a 3-ball count today. And that's the pitch right there. One of the many that the Brewers are having a very difficult time with.
A crossfire fastball by Scherzer. Lobaton wants the breaking ball, and he gets it, and Gomez is strikeout victim number 9.
He's making it look easy. I mean, that slider, Brewers have not been able to touch that pitch all day, and he hasn't made a mistake with it. Every single one that he's thrown has been down there, out of the strike zone. Brewers can't lay off of it. Jerry Augustine was talking about one of the reasons. I mean, that baseball comes out of the same arm slot, looks like the fastball, but just takes a left turn as it gets to home plate.
Maldonado takes a strike. Martin struck out in the 3rd inning. He struck out looking. Well, as dominant as Scherzer has been, this is certainly a winnable game for the Brewers, down 2 runs. Youngman did a fine job to escape big damage. Went 5 innings and allowed those 2 runs. He had 5 strikeouts as well. But at some point, the Brewers are going to have to solve the riddle of Max Scherzer, who is on his game today. Oh, and 2 Maldonado.
97 that time. Well, he's got it when he needs it. When he came up with the Diamondbacks, he was considered a hard thrower, a guy that threw 96, 7, 8 miles an hour. Not much of a breaking pitch, but boy, that's all changed.
Maldonado backs out, asks for and is granted timeout. Speaking of the Diamondbacks, they had a great pitching performance today. A 2-hit shutout of the San Francisco Giants. Chase Anderson went 7 innings in that game. That was a 1-0 victory for Arizona, beating Madison Bumgarner. The low hit game of the day to come to a conclusion.
Chase Anderson started that 17-inning game against the Brewers.
And Martin Maldonado ended it. 2-2 the count. 1 man out here in the 6th. And Maldonado strikes out. Number 10 for Scherzer.
Just dominating with that breaking pitch. It ends up in the same spot every time he throws it. Hasn't made any mistakes with it. Really hasn't spun one up there and left it in the middle of the plate. Not once today.
8 swinging strikeouts. 2 have been called. 10 Ks for the game. 5 of his last 6 outs are strikeouts. Here's Shane Peterson pinch hitting. If you're just joining us here, Max Scherzer is perfect through 5 2/3 and looks untouchable right now. Quickly 0-2 on Peterson.
As this game goes on, pressure mounts not just on Scherzer, but infielders, outfielders, especially when you have that perfect game going. Start thinking about it in earnest, once you get through the 7th inning. That's when it really starts to hit you. And he's not too far away from that right now.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Peterson. And down he goes. 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Scherzer strikes out the side. 6 perfect innings for Max Scherzer. Toyota. Roof is open on a Sunday afternoon, and Max Scherzer is developing into a major story here right now. He has 6 perfect innings with 11 strikeouts. About as dominant as you can be through 6 innings. We're headed to the 7th. And the Brewers trying to find some kind of offense. They'll take a home run or 2. Powerball home run leaderboard, Ryan Braun at the top with 13. Adam Lind with 9. Noah Ramos Ramirez in the lineup today. Might see him as a pinch hitter a little bit later.
And that's the thing about Scherzer. I mean, this is the best pitching performance that we've seen so far this year, as Jeremy Jeffress continues for Milwaukee. So a good outing today by Corey Knebel. Here comes Jeremy Jeffress for the 32nd time, a 2-0 record and a 3.03 earned run average. More strikeouts than innings pitched for Jeremy.
The hard-throwing Jeffress facing the top of the Washington batting order. Denard Span, Danny Espinosa, Anthony Rendon.
Yeah, Jeffress has had some rest out in that bullpen. Last pitched on Tuesday against the Pirates.
Ground ball right to Jeanette. Spins and throws him out. Beautiful play by Scooter Jeanette. Out number 1.
Hey, this summer free shirt Fridays are back, and better than ever. On Friday, June 26th, the Brewers kick off their weekend series with the Twins, and all fans at Miller Park will get a Jonathan Lucroy t-shirt courtesy of Quick Trip. For tickets, visit Brewers.com today.
The Twins are coming back. They had Byron Buxton join them in Arlington today, the top prospect in the minor leagues. Much ballyhooed prospect for the Twins. He is playing in his first game today for Minnesota. Talented young outfielder. Danny Espinosa with one away. He had a single in the third. He's 1 for 3. Was caught stealing in that inning to end the inning. Taylor Youngman, he didn't pitch poorly. It gives you an idea that he has the stuff, the ability to get himself out of some jams. Stranded the bases loaded in the 4th inning and then had a fairly clean 5th inning. He went 5 today.
Yeah, 3 of the 5 innings the Nationals had men in scoring position. He ended up 2 for 6 while Youngman was in the game.
Jeffress in a 1-2 count. Knebel worked a scoreless 6th, and Jeffress powers the fastball by Espinosa. 2 up, 2 down for Jeremy Jeffress.
When baseball comes out of his hand nicely, especially when he gets some rest. Mentioned that it's been Tuesday. That's 4 days rest for Jeremy Jeffress. He needed it. He's up amongst league leaders in appearances out of the bullpen. He's been good.
Here's Anthony Rendon. 2 away in the 7th inning. Start to wonder, Rock, these position players, and you've caught a no-hitter, not a perfect game, but you mentioned the position players last inning. They start to be a big part of what is happening now, and that pressure is starting to tighten up with these guys. You wonder how it affects them at the plate. Rendon into right. Braun gives chase. That'll slice. And out of play and foul.
A little bit different right now because the game is still in question. I mean, the Brewers have an opportunity. Get a couple of guys on. I know that seems like a monumental task the way Scherzer's been going at it, but it's not like the game is 5, 6, 7 to nothing. Where you're worried just about the perfect game and the no-hitter. Well, right now the Nationals, they don't have this game yet, and that plays a little bit of a part. I think that's what relaxes you in those situations a little bit because it is a tight game.
Still focused on the action on the field.
Right. You're still thinking about your at bats. You're still trying to get on base to to get those insurance runs.
There's a strike. 1 and 2.
Because every player will tell you winning the game is the most important part of it. It's all well and good and historic when you get the perfect game, the no hitters, but this game's still in question.
2-0. The Nats lead it, and a swing and a foul off of Maldonado. Rendon stays alive. The last perfect game in the major leagues was Felix Hernandez of the Mariners, 2012, and that was a 1-0 victory for the Mariners over Tampa Bay. There were 3 perfect games that year in 2012. Rendon with a base hit, dumps one into shallow left. That was a nice piece of hitting right there. Rendon singles with 2 outs.
That was a knuckle buster right there. That ball barely even rolling when Parra got to it, but still able to get to it, got enough of it. Brewers still have not been able to, I should say, yeah, it was Knebel had a 3 up 3 down inning. Extends the inning for Escobar.
Escobar was hit by a pitch in the 5th. Youngman got him. That was Youngman's last inning. Man, he's backing out of there.
He's done that a couple of times in this series.
Jeffress trying to get the Brewers to the dugout in the 7th. See if they can come up with something on Scherzer. That was a foul ball off of the home plate umpire, Todd Tishner. There was a lot of anger in that swing by Escobar. He was trying to hit one over the slide. Ooh.
Got him right in the side. There's no protection there. Telling Escobar, hey, hit the ball fair. It's on a day's work. It'll feel better in 4 days.
A glancing blow. One and two now on Escobar. Saw where Joey Gallo hit another homer. That kid,
something, isn't he?
He's got 4 homers in 11 games in the big leagues. Playing for the Texas Rangers, big prospect. He and Bryce Harper were Little League teammates. As a little soft liner, tough hop. Gomez knocks it down, will not have a play. And that'll be an infield hit. A couple of hits with 2 outs. He took a wicked hop on Gomez.
Did a nice job just knocking it down. And a little top spin on this baseball, and it comes up and almost in self-defense gets the head out of the way and is able to knock it down with a glove. No play at first.
Clint Robinson at the plate, presented by Wendy's. Got a single and a run scored in the 4th inning. Jeffress had 2 out, nobody on, now 2 men on base. And while Clint Robinson hasn't done a whole lot of damage at the big league level, hasn't had many opportunities at the major leagues, just hit his first major league home run the other day here. This guy's been a huge run producer in the minor leagues.
Hey, hit a home run on Thursday.
In 2010, Robinson won the Triple Crown in the Texas League. He was playing for Northwest Arkansas. With 29 homers, drove in 98. He's got another 100 RBI season in the minor leagues. He's just been one of those great AAA players that hasn't been able to fight his way to the big leagues. He reminds me a lot of Garrett Jones. Yeah. Garrett Jones was with the Twins organization, putting up huge numbers at AAA there, but they had Justin Morneau playing first base. There was no room at the end.
They don't want to have too many 100 RBI seasons in AAA.
Yeah, right.
Or in the minor leagues. It's like you don't want to spend too many years as the minor league player of the year. Was it Taylor Green that had that?
Former
exactly. Brewer, right?
Start getting the Crash Davis monikers. But the places he's been, Kansas City and the Dodgers, they've had great first baseman. That slap down the line, that is fair. A base hit, going to go for extras. 1 run is in. Rendon. Here comes Escobar. He's going to score. And it is 4-0 Nationals. They get 3 hits with 2 outs. And Max Scherzer gets even more run support today.
On a 3-1 pitch, and you can see Robinson wasn't able to get the head out on it, but slices it down the line, and by the time Parr picks it up in the corner, 2 runs are in. So the jam shot by Rendon didn't look like it was going to amount to much. Keeps the inning alive. And Robinson with 2 big RBIs. That changes the complexion of what Scherzer does out there in the field.
4-0. The Nationals have 10 hits, 3 in a row here, and that'll bring up Ian Desmond.
Yeah, those big insurance runs. Now you can really think more about protecting the no-hitter and the perfect game as opposed to just trying to win the game.
One ball, 1 strike on Desmond. Desmond did not start in the opener of this series on Thursday. He did come in. He had a pinch hit, had a single off Francisco Rodriguez in that game. He represented the tying run. That was his first day off from the starting lineup of the season. He has started the last 3 games, and he has struck out 10 times. In the last 3 games, he's punched out 3 times today. Jeffers has him in a 1-2 count.
Taking the strikes and swinging at the balls.
The 1-2 and a bouncing ball. Segura will make the play to end the inning, but 2 big runs come in on Clint Robinson's 2 RBI double. Stretch time here at Miller Park. We turn it over to Rob Edwards and the Brewers public address for their presentation of God Bless America.
From the Brewers Guest Services.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Summary, Max Scherzer, the man of the hour. It has been a masterpiece in the making. Brewers are trying to get something going, but Max Scherzer has a perfect game through the first 6 innings. 18 up, 18 down, 11 strikeouts for Mad Max.
It's basically been fastball sliding, and as this game is going on, the fastball, the velocity is starting to elevate, averaging about 95, and he's been able to get it up to 97.
Nationals just added 2 to the lead. Carlos Gomez leads off. He has a strikeout. He was the first K for Scherzer. Scherzer struck out the side in the 6th inning and has punched out 6 of the last 7 hitters. Gomez with a big hack. 1 ball, 1 strike right out of his helmet.
That's what we're talking about. I mean, as he has gone through the game, velocity's increased. Most of the time, velocity is going to decrease for a starter.
Making just his 3rd career start against the Brewers. Gomez, a little flare, got a chance. Rendon, oh, it's a base hit. Carlos Gomez makes sure the Brewers are not a part of history.
Enough of that. But what a performance for Max Scherzer. And Gomez able to dump one into right. A sight for sore eyes. Nobody wants to be no hit, let alone a perfect game. There's a shining moment.
Brought to you by the Marshfield Clinic.
Enough of that nonsense.
Rendon gave it all he had, but just out of his reach. A man on. First hit of the game. First time Scherzer has been in the stretch all day. Here's Gerardo Parra. In the air to left. Taylor for the first out. Well, let's see just how close Rendon came to catching this ball. That close.
And maybe a foot, 6 inches to a foot. Scherzer, he was feeling it. I think any pitcher that we've seen this year, I mean, if he could have had, the no-hit stuff, a perfect game, it was him today. He was that good. He still is.
Well, now he'll set his sights on a shutout. The Brewers desperate to get something going here. That 2-run double by Robinson in the top of this inning hurts him badly. 4 runs against Scherzer feels like a mountain right now. But we'll see. The Brewers had a nice comeback on Thursday night. They were down 5-1 after 3.5.
Little sigh of relief though in that Brewers dugout. I think everybody can relax a little bit more now. Those guys know what's going on in that dugout. They don't want to be no hit. And that creates pressure in itself up there at the plate.
Well, a few long balls that go a long way for the Brewers in their effort today. They've hit 58 this season on the Powerball home run leaderboard. A home run by Parra on Thursday was a game-tying home run in that comeback. 2-0 the count. And Braun pops it up right up the pipe. Espinosa will make the call and the catch, and Braun is retired. 2 away in the inning.
A lot of times a guy gives up a hit. 7th inning, he's got that perfect game going. He can lose his focus a little bit and end up giving up some runs. That's what the Brewers are hoping for. Brewers have been able to make contact, albeit not really good contact, since the base hit.
Here's Adam Lind. Long pause by Scherzer, and he misses up and away to Lind. Adam has homered off Scherzer. That is his only career hit against him. However, he's 1 for 10. The man who's faced him the most over in the American League, Lind with the Blue Jays. Scherzer pitching the last 5 years for the Tigers.
And continues to work Lind away. Really hasn't messed around too much on the other half of the plate.
Looks like a little changeup from Scherzer right there.
Well, he threw him one earlier today.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Hasn't thrown too many. Both of them, I think, have come to Adam Lind.
Lind rips one foul. Touch late, hit it sharply. Brewers finally get their first hit. Carlos Gomez leading off the inning with a little flare single. 1-2. Lind Fouls another one off. Looking for a quick strike now. Get a big fly here. Get right back into the game. Gomez staying put at first, down 4 runs. Scherzer, now 30 years of age, played his college ball at Mizzou. And a swing and a miss. Lynn strikes out. He threw him another changeup, and the inning is over. Perfect game, no hitter, lost thanks to Carlos Gomez. As a one-hitter going with 12 strikeouts, was perfect through the first 6. Brewers down 4, and our Miller Lite What's on Tap, the Royals coming in tomorrow. 2 games here at Miller Park, Brewers Royals, 2 games at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. So Edinson Volquez gets the ball tomorrow against Kyle Loesch, and then the Brewers will head to Kansas City after Tuesday's game. We got Loesch and Garza, then Fires and Nelson against the reigning American League champion Royals, and most of their starters are in the top position for the American League All-Star team right now. Kansas City in first place in the American League Central Division.
Yeah, see a bunch of old friends at Miller Park and in Kansas City. As Jonathan Broxton takes over, Broxton with that .617 earned run average in game number 26. He's been throwing the baseball better. Slider's been more consistent, able to keep it out of the strike zone, get some strikeouts. Last pitched on Friday and tossed a 3-up, 3-down inning that included a couple of strikeouts.
Jose Lobaton at the plate. He had an RBI single earlier in this game. Lobaton delivered a run in the 4th. Had a base hit to the opposite field. One of the 2 runs that Taylor Youngman allowed in his 5 innings of work. Knebel and Jeffress working scoreless innings of relief here today. I beg your pardon. Jeffress giving up 2 runs, working complete innings of relief. Broxton, the 3rd reliever used. Jose Lobaton has a moment in history that not many get to experience. He hit a walk-off home run in a playoff game. Game 3 of the ALDS against Boston, 2013. Hit it into the Rays tank in St. Pete. Red Sox still won that series. They won the next day. took him down in 4, but Lobaton with a walk-off homer in the postseason. That's a moment he'll never forget.
Good backup catcher. I mean, you got Wilson Ramos as their everyday guy. You got a switch hitter in Lobaton, who is as good a defensive catcher as there is. That was good to have that in your resume. Hit a home run in the playoffs.
Three balls, 2 strikes. Broxton facing Jose Lobaton to start the 8th. And he pops it up. Slams his bat on the ground and breaks it as Segura makes the catch. A perfectly good bat is now history.
And now a piece of firewood. Hey, nothing says summer like Brewers baseball in the State Fair. And with the State Fair Days double play, you'll get a ticket to a Brewers game and a general admission ticket to the Wisconsin State Fair presented by U.S. Cellular. All for just $15. For details, go to brewers.com/State Fair.
Looking forward to that. Always a big part of the summer, the State Fair. We got Summerfest coming up soon. The Wisconsin State Fair, all good times. No better place to be in the summertime than Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
And the rains have finally gone away.
Yeah, it's nice. Beautiful day it turned out to be.
Just in time for a Sunday evening cookout.
Sounds like a great idea, Rock. Right after a Sunday late inning comeback by the Brew Crew. Is that what you had in mind?
I'm not ready to go yet.
1 ball, 1 strike to Taylor. Hits that one hard into center field. Gomez is there. Out number 2. Like a bullet off the bat, but Taylor hits it right at Gomez. And the old scout saying they've been putting a guy there for 100 years. Hit it somewhere else.
Hit them where they ain't.
Scherzer, who's contributed at the plate today, has a hit, one of the 10 hits for the Nats. Scherzer's perfect game broken up on a Carlos Gomez single, a flare just out of the reach of the second baseman Rendon. Washington got a great performance from Joe Ross yesterday. He went 8 innings. First time he's ever pitched 8 innings in his professional career, minor league or major league. Scherzer, you know, is going back out for the 8th. He's going to probably try to finish this one if he can. He's only had 1 complete game in his major league career. One and 2 the count. Broxton tried to make it a 3-up, 3-down 8th. And a little tapper. Broxton will play it. Scherzer's going to slow the pace down, and the inning is over. 1, 2, 3 for Broxton. Scherzer returns to the mound for the 8th. He's got a 1-hit shutout going.
to pitch in the bottom of the 8th inning. Just one hit given up, a little bloop single to Carlos Gomez. Broke it up in the 7th inning. But, boy, what a performance we've seen out of him, Davey, as we get ready for our postgame show coming up after the ballgame.
What's this guy's record?
6-5, believe it or not.
How did he lose 5 games? My goodness.
I'm not
this
sure.
man's been dominating.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's shown he's thrown all of his pitches, but yet and still we're still not out of it. We're still in the ball game, but we need to get some men on base.
All right, Brewers still some opportunities. Again, Brewers Live postgame coming up after the ball game. We'll hear from Craig Counsell as well. Get inside the clubhouse and get you set for the Royals series, which starts tomorrow here at Miller Park. Brian?
All right, thanks, Craig and Davey. The Royals and the Cardinals have yet to resume their game. They're still in a long rain delay in St. Louis. Gene Segura leads off. Max Scherzer back on the mound, starting his 8th inning. His pitch count is in great shape, just 81 pitches. He has struck out Segura twice. 12 punch-outs today for Scherzer. Segura in a 2-1 count, and Rock even in the 8th inning in a hitter's count. Segura unable to get around with a 93-mile-an-hour fastball.
Just tough to pick him up. I mean, you know, 6-5 record. He'd lost 2 in a row. You wonder how that's happened. You know, giving up 8 runs in his last 2 starts combined. But you know, today he was pitching with a purpose, and a lot of times, and I'm going to go back to this. You know, you got that. There's 2 insurance runs in the top of the 7th inning, making it a 4-0 lead. So Scherzer's feeling pretty good. He's thinking perfect game. He's thinking no hitter. And a lot of times after you get a bloop hit or you get a guy on base, you kind of you let your guard down a little bit. But we haven't seen that from Max Scherzer. You talk to some of these folks around this club with the Nationals, they'll tell you that Scherzer's got that position player's mentality, but he's a pitcher. He's got that bulldog mentality. He just loves to be a baseball player. He loves to be out there and compete. He just goes after you. That's what he does.
Full count to Segura. And a slow roller towards short. Desmond coming in hard. Throws to first in time.
A heck of a play. He might be struggling with the bat, but he's having a pretty good defensive series. That was a play that was a lot tougher than it looked. Some part of this play is getting the ball in and out of the glove, and knowing Segura's running, he runs down that line quickly. Right here's the toughest part of the play. Off balance, able to make the transfer, and a good throw to first. Gets him by a full step.
One away here in the 8th. Here is Scooter Gennett. And a strike from Scherzer. Been a lot of those first pitch strikes. Scherzer started the day 5th in the National League in ERA. His earned run average is dropping even more. He's actually under 2 right now after that out to Segura. Garrett Cole is the ERA leader in the National League. The Pirates right-hander has a 1.71 earned run average. He had another terrific performance yesterday, and he won his 10th game yesterday. Garrett Cole, 10 wins, and we're in the middle of June.
Yeah.
Scherzer is leading the National League in innings, second to Kershaw in strikeouts currently.
Yeah, 3rd in opponent batting average. That's going to go down today. 5th in ERA. 3rd in strikeouts. Yeah, he's all over the board. Day earned run average, road earned run average, you name it, he's on it.
He has the best road earned run average in the National League. That says a lot, and that means a lot to a ball club when your ace can go on the road and dominate an opponent.
Yeah, 155 road ERA coming into today's game.
Sophia Down below, our reporter, what do you have on Max Scherzer today?
Well, Craig Counsell was talking about Scherzer and said, like so many of the great pitchers in the game, he says he seems to have a cruise control gear, which he says is still obviously really good, but he said it's the moments that matter that he can really step it up into the next gear, which just make him better than everyone else. He said it's similar to what like Johnny Cueto can do for the Reds. And he says, you know, that you can pitch at a certain effort throughout the game to get there, go 92, 93, and then he says you'll see it in the big spots or the big moments. He'll dial it up to that next gear, 96, 97. He said you're going to see that here today. We certainly saw that through his first few innings.
Scherzer deals a 3-2 to Jeanette. He fouls another one off.
Yeah, 5th, 6th, 7th inning. I mean, he was every one of his fastballs was 95 plus. I mean, you can tell that he was feeling that he had something special going today, and just an incredible talent. I mean, that's the way he threw as a starter with the Diamondbacks, and because of that, he really wasn't able to go too long in games.
Well, Jeanette draws the walk. First walk of the day issued by Scherzer. They got to get him out of there, Rock. He's losing it.
At least a visit from the pitching coach.
Gave up a hit last inning. Now a walk. Back in a stretch he goes.
That was a 9-pitch at bat for Scooter. Good job.
Now Hector Gomez with one away. Look out, coming right back at us. Good catch up there. Guy's got a glove. He's standing in the perfect spot. Got a good theme going today.
Yeah.
And he's looking for a young fan to give the ball to, I think. There, he found one.
He's a season ticket holder. He's there just about every game, and that's not his first baseball. The gentleman, maybe the kid.
He's in prime foul ball territory. That little kid is fired up. Good work. Oh, 0-2 to Hector Gomez. Pirates had a walk-off today. Josh Harrison with a game winner. Pittsburgh beating the Phillies in 11 innings today. Harrison got Jonathan Papelbon.
Philly's having a rough time of it this year. Brewers are going to see Philly at the end of the month and be in Philadelphia. Phillies 22 and 42.
Worst record in the majors. Oh, 0-2. Gomez is hanging tough. And down he goes. Scherzer punches him out. Number 13 for Max Scherzer. That matches his season high. Had 13 Ks against the Cubs in late May. His career high is 15. 2 away in the inning.
He's still thinking about that base hit. I guarantee it. I would be.
A leadoff jam shot flare to right by Gomez that was just out of the reach of Rendon. That is the only hit of the game.
That's what makes, no hitters, perfect game so tough. So tough to come by. You never know. I mean, you can make good pitches. Guys get jam shots, little dribblers down the line, bad hops. Fist jobs like Gomez into right field. That's why they're so rare.
Chris Heston threw a no-hitter for the Giants last week, back on the 9th of June. And That was what was so interesting about his no-hitter against the Mets. He was just in complete control, and he doesn't have near the stuff Scherzer does. Pitching about the 90-mile-an-hour range. He struck out the side in the 9th inning to get his no-hitter. There were really no close calls for hits in that game. You never know sometimes. Yep. Heston has thrown the only no-hitter so far this year. Been a couple close calls, and put Scherzer on that list today after 6 perfect innings. Maldonado strikes out. Max Scherzer is through 8. Just a dominant performance today. 14 strikeouts and 8 shutout innings. Today, and our Marshfield Clinic leaders in relief. The Brewers strikeouts per 9 innings. Only the Dodgers have more Ks per 9. Frankie Rodriguez, his nickname is K-Rod, so he's been holding up his end. K-Rod with 24 Ks in his 23 innings of work. Not a safe situation, of course, but needing some work, so he'll get the ball here today in the 9th.
Yeah, pitched on Thursday, picked up save number 13 in a scoreless 9th inning, gave up a hit, but no runs. Been outstanding, 13 for 13 for Frankie and a 117 earned run average. It's all about fastball command for K-Rod. It's been pretty good so far.
Denard Span will lead off for Washington. Nats got a run in the 3rd, scored 1 in the 4th, and then added 2 in the 7th. That was a 2-out, 2 RBI double by Clint Robinson. Span has 2 hits and a walk, and he has scored a run. He scored the first run. The Cardinals and Royals have been officially postponed, so that might change up the pitching rotation in the next series for Milwaukee. Kansas City on their way to Milwaukee, starting a series tomorrow. Span in the air to center field, slicing out to Gomez. Out number 1. Had another big strikeout performance today in the big leagues. Chris Sale struck out 12. As the White Sox, they lost that game to Tampa Bay, but Chris Sale had 12 Ks, and he has double-digit strikeouts in 5 consecutive games. That was a 2-1 Tampa Bay win over the White Sox. Nationals are headed to St. Petersburg. They've got a series with the Rays starting tomorrow. So you got Sale with 12 Ks. Max Scherzer has 14, 1 off his career best. Chase Anderson flirt with a no-hitter today for the Diamondbacks against the Giants. Ended up going 7 innings with 1 hit, and that ended up as a 2-hit shutout combined. Diamondbacks beat the Giants and Madison Bumgarner 1-0. Those have been some of the highlights in the big leagues today.
You see the Houston Astros once again taking it to Seattle.
Incredible. They knocked Felix Hernandez out of the game the other night in the first inning with 1 out. Gave up 8 earned runs.
Yeah, Seattle won yesterday, but Houston with a 12-0 lead.
Yeah, there's a low hit game in that one as well. A 2-hitter. McCullers, Sipp, and Thatcher for the Astros combining on 2 hits. It's part of that shutout. Astros aren't going anywhere. They are 35-28. Houston is in first place in the American League West. Still sounds strange, especially growing up an Astros fan in the old National League. That was the closest team I had, the closest big league team growing up. 3 hours away.
That's unfortunate.
I know it.
So, you know, there are some drawbacks to living in Texas, are you saying?
No, not really. Not many.
Okay.
It's a little hot, and the fire ants are extremely painful. I don't miss fire ants at all.
I had 3 teams within about an hour and 15 minutes.
I know you had it nice there.
Philly, you know, the Mets, the Yankees.
Who did you gravitate towards?
I was a Yankee fan back in the day.
Really?
Phillies. We went to Philly. Yeah, my first game ever was at Connie Mack Stadium. I was young. Phillies Dodgers, I'll never forget it. Phillies won.
Your dad take you to the game?
Dad and mom.
How about that?
You know, all kinds of snide remarks from the production truck right now.
I mean, you're having a nice moment here.
Yeah.
They're kind of
beating me up.
Kind of beating you down a little bit.
Asking me if Connie Mack was actually managing that game.
He wasn't, was he?
No, he wasn't.
Okay, good.
Gene Mauch.
Gene Mauch. Who was the first player you saw that stood out to you that you saw in person in that game or in another game?
Dick Allen.
Van Lingelmungo.
He was He was at first base.
Dick Allen. Nice.
Big man.
And you said, that's where I want to be. Did you ever see Cy Young pitch, Rock? No, just kidding. 2-2 pitch from K-Rod. A swing and a miss. Down he goes. Espinoza strikes out. 2 up, 2 down.
I guess that's what happens to me when I make a kind of a snide remark about Texas. The whole production team jumps on me.
Yeah, you know, they got my back in there.
I know they
do. You know, you were having a nice moment there.
I was, and
ruined it. Said the verbal beatdown.
It's okay. Not the first time.
Folks would be surprised how much bullying goes on in our ears on a daily basis from the production truck.
Things that they try to get us to say.
Laughing at us, making fun of us. I mean, we're easy targets.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Same thing's going on at home, I'm sure.
Yeah, we promise. All that abuse on Twitter or Facebook or whatever social media you choose, it's nothing compared to what we get from the truck. We can handle it. And we're here for you.
Yeah, well, at least the folks in the production show, we can actually look them in the eye when they do it.
They do get grumpy fast because it's really dark and cold in there. Cave dwellers. Rendon, a big cut and a miss. 2-1 the count. Blue Jays won again today, Rock. 11 in a row. They beat the Red Sox 13-5. Marco Estrada got the win today. Former Brewer. Traded for Adam Lind. 11 straight wins for Toronto, and they are a factor now in the American League East. They're just a game back of the Yankees. Yankees have a lead over Baltimore in the 9th inning today.
All that winning, they're 4 games over 500, so it can happen. You get right back in it when you get a winning streak like that. Uncommon, but possible.
Here's a 2-2. Full count. Looking ahead to the Brewer 9th inning. Have a pinch hitter to start the inning. And then Gomez followed by Parra. Gomez has the only hit of the day for the Brewers against Max Scherzer.
I'd imagine Anthony Rendon feeling a little bit of the heat. Not to say that he could have caught that pop up, but he's thinking to himself, I had a better jump. I was able to get to it a little bit quicker. I could have snared that pop up in the right.
What could I have done to make that play? That's unfair, but that's what he's thinking. You know he is.
Yeah, he is, I'm sure.
Down he goes, a strikeout. Frankie Rodriguez, 3 up, 3 down, a couple of Ks. Last call for the Brewers. They need 4. Max Scherzer is headed back out. Is presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Book your stay now. 9th inning we go. It is the last call against Max Scherzer, who is spinning a dandy here today. He has 14 Ks. That's 1 off his career best. Has allowed just 1 hit. He was perfect through 6. He's given up 1 hit and 1 walk. Gomez had the single. The walk was by Scooter Gennett in a 10-pitch at bat. Pinch hitter coming up. Craig Counsell sends out Jason Rogers to try to get something started here in the 9th and give this crowd something to cheer about today. Rogers takes a strike. This has been an impressive performance by Scherzer, who now has 105 pitches, 77 of those for strikes. A ton of swings and misses today.
And looking for his 2nd career complete game, believe it or not.
And the last one came just about this time last year in Chicago against the White Sox. That was a 3-hitter. 3-hit shutout. Rogers has a pinch hitter, 8 for 25. That's a .320 average. Very impressive. Brewers need base runners. Trying to get into the bullpen. Rogers able to lay off. That take right there is what makes Rogers so impressive as a young hitter. Sitting on that bench all day long. Max Scherzer doing what he's doing today. He comes out and he takes that slider that Scherzer's been striking out a lot of hitters with. 2-2. Got him this time. Rogers strikes out, number 15 for Scherzer. That matches a career high. Set that mark in 2012 against the Pirates, and he's done it again here today.
And went back to the slider. Rogers able to take the first one out of the strike zone. That was a strike, but Rogers out in front.
Carlos Gomez with one away. And the Brewers are very thankful for Gomez today, taking them out of the history books with this at bat. It wasn't much, but it was enough. A flare just out of the reach of Rendon, the only hit of the game thus far. Ball and 2 strikes on Gomez. Nationals had their first franchise no-hitter, at least of the Washington version of the franchise, from Jordan Zimmerman last year, the final day of the regular season. So that is still intact. Zimmerman pitched in the series. He was roughed up on Friday night, did not make it through the 4th inning. Gomez down on strikes. Number 16 for Scherzer.
It's been an amazing performance by Scherzer. Impressive right there. And then with a changeup that time, he's throwing everything at the Brewers, and Brewers just haven't been able to figure him out.
He's got a new career high for strikeouts. Most strikeouts in a game this year came from Corey Kluber of the Indians. He had 18 Ks against St. Louis of all teams. Parra swing and a miss. Look at all of those Ks. 16 of them. And he has struck out 4 in a row. Other than a no-hitter by Jordan Zimmerman, the low hit performance for a National. Gio Gonzalez had a 1-hitter 2 years ago against the Mets, a 1-hit shutout. Giving the Nationals the kind of performances that only aces can give at the big strikeout games. The all-time record for the Brewers offensively for strikeouts is 17. And Parra will roll one. That's fair, and that'll be the ball game. And that was a masterpiece by Max Scherzer, a 1-hit shutout, 16 strikeouts for Scherzer